The mechanism for the Roar of Time and Spacial Rend has been released in Pokemon Go on their Instagram and Twitter and all their other social medias. So we're going to watch that video today if you haven't seen it, and then we're going to break down what has to go on here and what is we're going to be looking forward to and what might get a little bit problematic with the system. So welcome to the Trainer Club. Here we go. So now let's start breaking this down. You guys have seen the video, let's get right into it, okay? So this actually is pretty cool. So the Dialga looks amazing. The origin forms look absolutely fantastic. And it's even cooler at the bottom if they have this moveset, okay? So here's the thing, guys. If you didn't already see the news, if it doesn't have Roar of Time or Spacial Rend, it cannot be TM'd into as of right now. So not a regular TM or an elite TM. It looks like it's a special move that comes with certain Pokemon and then allows you to be able to use this specific attack. So if there's Hundo hunters out there, if you get a Hundo, there's a chance similar to as like the background of some of those Pokemon, like the capture cards, not all of them are going to get it. So that's one thing we have to take into account. But if we're looking at the bottom of this Dialga, it looks extremely cool. So all you have to do is catch the Pokemon and then you have to scroll down and see the moveset. If it does have the moveset, it is going to have that move. You can do it in increments of 2 hours when adding, but then you have to redo 2 hours to get it to 24 hours, which I get because if you accidentally push left and it goes all the way, it's a very expensive thing to do. Okay, so in order for us to freeze this for 2 hours, which is going to include the star pieces, the lucky eggs, the incense, and the adventure incense, all amazing things, especially the star piece and lucky eggs, is going to cost you 100,000 Stardust and 100 Dialga candy. All right, so let's unpack this right here, because if we think about this, 100,000 Stardust, that's a pretty good amount of Stardust. That's not something to just like be like, oh, okay, whatever, because 100,000 Stardust can unlock a second charge move for a legendary Pokemon, which is pretty cool. Also, 100 candies. Typically when you raid for Pokemon, you can get anywhere, depending on if you do it remote, all the way to in-person, 3 to max 9. If you get really lucky and you Pineapple these Pokemon, you could get a bit more. But also, if you do get a shiny, you can give it a silver Pineapple berry and you can yield even more. And then if you have the Mega Level 3 Dragon type going with it, that's the thing. But to get to 100, guys, that's a pretty good amount of candy. So here's the things that you guys could do with this. Number one, if you have an excess of rare candy and you don't use it for anything and just like all of your Pokemon already have it, which probably is not most of you guys, but some people might, you could dump it into Dialga and Palkia and use this, all right? But the problem here is that you're talking about premium raids, so you're basically buying candy, or you could walk your Pokemon to get this, but that would take a long time to be able to do 2 hours to get 100. But to get for the first one, which is a 6-minute pause, not really the best there, but think about this. Here's the scenario that I'm going to entertain for you guys. You have a star piece on, you're about to hatch your 12-kilometer eggs, and it's about to run out, and you have 0.5 kilometers left, and you know you could get it in the next 6 minutes. What you might want to do instead of using another star piece is just use a Roar of Time, okay? So that would work in that scenario. I see certain situations and scenarios that would work really well. However, it does come at a cost. So there's a good situation where you don't have to buy another star piece to be able to use this, which I think is pretty cool. But in order to use it, you have to go into your bag, find the origin form Dialga, which looks fantastic. I am so excited about this. You scroll down, you see the move, and then you use it, and then you power it all the way up if you want to. If you don't want to, you don't have to go for that long, but you do have the option of doing this. So just a reminder, you don't have to do this if it upsets you and you don't want to spend Stardust and you don't want to spend candy. It's a cool feature. It is a premium feature at that. And while they primarily focus on the Dialga because it has the premium items to be able to pause, which looks amazing. Look at the pause button right there, and then it shows you them being active. It also does show you the Palkia activating and how big the spawn radius is for some of those Pokemon around you. Am I the biggest fan of this? No. However, here's some other situations where this could come in handy. Let's say that you are doing Calm Day, it's snowing in New York City, and you want to have a bigger reach into the stops that you're able to lure, but you're not able to see the Pokemon in those lured stops. Palkia, using Spacial Rend, would be able to allow you to see those situations. So I do see value in both of those situations. I do see that they both can help you play and complement your gameplay, but once again, they come at a cost. So maybe at some point they will reevaluate the cost of these to be able to use them a little bit more often. But the one thing I'm going to point out is that it's better, and this is one of their mottos, to start at the most extreme or the more extreme and reverse themselves than to start at the least and then have to add to it like they did with the remote raid passes. They perceived that remote raid pass was more valuable that they originally had it valued as, and what they have to do, they had to reevaluate and change things. So I'd rather have it more expensive on the drop and decrease than to be least expensive and them having to increase it because they're not making money or whatever the situation is. I don't really know all the situations and all the details, but I say these features are very cool. I will definitely be using them, maybe not hyper often, but under certain unique situations, those 2 situations that I gave you, to extend the timer of a star piece or a lucky egg. Maybe you have 1 or 2 more raids, you're like, I just need 6 more minutes, we're almost there, we had 2 extra times on the radar, boom, use Roar Up time. However, if you're like, man, it's so cold, it started snowing, we have an hour left on comm day, I am down to use Spacial Rend to allow me to sit into this situation and see all the stops around us and be able to capitalize. So those are the two situations that I see the most value from. Let me know in the comments below what you think about the cost, what you think about the value. I'm excited about this, and it's coming out very soon. So thank you guys for being here as always. To all of my likers, commenters, subscribers, Patreon members, everybody takes your support, subscription, participation, 2XO. I'll see you guys out in the next video. Peace. I want to take this time to thank everybody who supports me in every facet. It means the world to me, and an extra special thank you to all my Patreons. I greatly appreciate the extra support to continue to allow me to pursue Pokemon Go full time, allowing me to create my daily video uploads in the most timely fashion for everyone's benefit. Plus, I get the amazing experience of sharing my creative processes behind the scenes and raiding all around the globe with select upper tiers. Thank you everybody for being a part of the Trainer Club. You all mean the absolute world to me, and I will see you guys out on the next video.